For this module, we will not be talking in depth about how to provide training specifically, but we will just give you some generalized concept on how you as a safety supervisor can provide effective training for your people, for safety officers, and even for operation supervisors where you are working at. So first, formal safety education and training are important in improving an employee's ability to work safely. So as you can see there, I have underlined two words, education and training. Can someone tell me here what are the difference between these two terms? Yes, Ali, you're one of my...
Education, the same when they will study and focus on major. The training will be before the education. Same qualified.
Okay, someone, other idea? Yes, Ali again. How about you, Abdul Hadi?
Same idea, I agree with Ali.
Okay, so just for everyone information, when you say education, it's more on
Major.
general. Yeah, general information like toolbox talk. You know, we're just talking about certain information, but without showing them how to do it. But when you say training,
Specific to it.
yeah, you have to show them how to do it. One example of training is how to do how to manual handling, how to wear your safety harness, right? This is a training because it requires you to show someone the procedure on how to do it. So that is basically the difference. So instruction is important because it gives people knowledge about safety and why it is necessary. You know, in life, it is important for us to know why we are doing certain things in life, right? Because the whys in our life is our motivators. It is the one that motivates you to do something. So in safety, it is also applicable. Because people normally do not follow safety because they don't know why it is necessary. So as a safety trainer, you have to tell them why it is important. Right? Yeah. So, by safety instructions does this by emphasizing the natural and system consequences of personal behavior, actions, and activities. So, as you can see there, it mentions two things. First, natural and system consequence, which we will be discussing in detail later. But this natural and system consequence, these are the reason why we will do safety on site. And these are the reason how we can encourage the operation people to comply with safety. And safety instructions ultimately affects behavior. And attitudes, in turn, shape behavior. So, this training, for example, we are doing right now, all trainings we are doing on site, the main purpose of that is to change behavior. Because, yeah, we saw people, why this guy is not wearing PPE? Why this guy is climbing the scaffolding without harness? Why this guy is... We observe so many unsafe behaviors. And we do trainings to change that behavior that we observe. That somehow in the future we can see him doing the right things. That is the purpose basically of training, changing behavior. And changing behavior in any organization, yes. Just for your information, this is the key element of culture. In an organization with very good, or we can say world-class safety culture, the fundamental or the building blocks of achieving that world-class safety culture, first is changing behavior. You have to change the behavior of people. So that's where training comes in. So what are the natural and system consequences? This is what I told you. First, when you say natural, you will die if you will not comply with safety. Right? Directly. If you do not use harness, you will probably kill yourself. So everyone is afraid of dying. I hope so. I hope so. So, or you can use here actually, me as a safety trainer before, a safety supervisor also for so many years in the project, what I use is their family. Yeah, this is very strong. When you come to them, one guy not wearing safety glass when he was doing welding, I told him, do you have kids? He said, yes sir, I have 2 kids, small one. If you go blind, do you think you can send your children to school? And he wears glass all day, every time. Yeah, because I hit him emotionally, you know. This is a tool we can use to make them realize how important safety is by showing them natural consequence. And system consequence, you can be terminated if you will not follow safety. So this is system. So if you fail to use harness, you will be terminated from employment. But if you use it consistently, you will be recognized and rewarded. So this is system. So in company, we need systems to support good behavior. But as I told you, people who are hard-headed, people who doesn't want to comply with safety, we have also system consequence for that. We can terminate them. I remember one guy who trained us in Royal Commission for 5 days. And I really admire, his concept. He said, do not be afraid to terminate people on site. I told him why. Because you are giving him a favor. I told him how. He said, because if he die in your project, what happened to his family? Nobody will take care of his family. But if you just terminate him before he die, you give him good favor. Right? So terminating people on site, do not be afraid. Because you are protecting him from getting more serious accident that he could die in your project. So terminating him is much better than dying. Right? So why employees do not comply with safety rules? This is what I'm saying in the beginning. They don't know why they should do them. Some laborers actually, when you ask them, they don't know what is safety. Why should I wear harness? They don't understand. Because, so as a supervisor, we have to train them. That's why we are giving toolbox talks. That's why we are giving toolbox awareness training, so that they will know the why. If they will understand the why, they will comply it willingly. Willingly. They will not even ask for you. And second thing is they don't know how to do it, how to wear the harness. They don't know how to.
Where to attach the hole.
Yeah, that's why sometimes, like doing safety drills, we show them how to escape, all these things. That's why, these two things should come together, why and how. Especially for critical activities, you have to show them how, especially confined space activities. You have to train them how to do it. You cannot just be a confined space entry supervisor if you don't know what is the operation inside. You cannot be just a confined space entry attendant if you don't know what are the hazards inside. So that's why training and education is very important for developing culture of our people. So education and training, when applied together, as I said, strike both of these causes of substandard performance. So you have, as a trainer, I know Mustafa and some of you guys, especially Ali, knows this concept. Changing behavior, you have to strike. I will show you another slide. It will be, I will not explain here now. It will be the antecedent and consequence. So responsibility should be given to supervisors for training. Why? To best ensure safety education and training is given to all workers, supervisors should be assigned training responsibilities. But supervisors should be knowledgeable in giving trainings. I told you about this, right? You cannot just give training because you are a supervisor. A trainer should have specific skills, and it needs to be gained through trainings and experience. Not because you're a supervisor you can give training. Some supervisors, they do not even know the job. How can they give training? So ensure once you reach the supervisor level, ensure that you cover your ass, You cover your bases. This is what I'm talking about. When you reach that level that you are a supervisor and you know yourself that you have still lacking information, man, you are already supervisor. You have to cover your base. Know these things that you do not know immediately as fast as you can, so that you will cover those weaknesses you have and you will be a qualified supervisor to lead your people. Otherwise, you will not stay there for long. So, work hard. And because we are often driven by potential consequences in our action and behavior, trainings without accountability is always ineffective. That's why in the previous slide, maybe you observed that it says something that a training should be tied with accountability. Once I gave you training, after this training, I know you understand your responsibility as supervisor. I can give you warning letter if you will not do your job. Because now you understand what is your role. The same thing you can do to operation supervisor. I can say, I am doing this. Once the training is done, I will tell them, now you are equipped with this knowledge. You are now accountable. If something happens to your project, to your scope, I can give you warning letter. I can even terminate you as well. Because you have signature in the attendance sheet. And I give you training, you pass. I give you evaluation, you pass. So it means you understand. And by law, as mentioned earlier, you are accountable for safety of your people. Because I cannot hold you accountable if you do not know your responsibility. Right? But now you know, I can hold you accountable. Supervisors should be trainers. Here is why. This is what I mentioned earlier. Any educator, any instructor, like Mustafa, for example, to be honest, to be fair with him, he doesn't know English, he can speak English. But Arabic-wise, he has very strong knowledge in safety. Communication, that is where he has to work on. But this is what I'm saying. Once you are doing it regularly, it will be a second nature to you. Like me, my profession is teacher, actually. That's why I can do trainings, but it doesn't come by to me immediately. It happened to me, through continuous learning, through continuous presentation. So by the end of time, you will become what you want, become better in the presentation. But just don't stop, learning. Just don't stop trying. So as a supervisor, you will tell your experience to your people, right? And you will become better every day by teaching what you learn. And by the end of the day, you will not be satisfied anymore with what you are teaching. So you will find another information so that you can teach it again. And on that process, you will realize you will become better person. Because of that, I don't want my people to think that I don't know anything. I have to know this. So you will put effort. Second, consequently, he is better qualified to supervise for safety and more confidently manage accountability. So if you are putting accountability to your people, you should be accountable for yourself. You have to know what is your role and responsibility as a supervisor. You cannot just say to your officer, you are accountable now, but you are not, you escape. This is definitely wrong. As a supervisor, you are the role model of your officer. And workers will more likely perceive their supervisors as competent and knowledgeable in safety as well as another in operations. If you are giving training to your people, most of the time, your credibility will be strong every day. That, Mr. Salman is giving us very good information. He must, you will gain credibility. That every time you talk to them, they will believe in you. Because they see you as something, someone they can model. That in the future, I want to be like him. So this is the way how you have to. And as a trainer, then you can do it by giving them good information and support. When safety training should occur? Normally, just tell me reasons or like circumstance when the safety training should happen. Tell me please, Mr. Abdullah, there at the back. When do you think are the possible time you can give training?
For example, like if I see hazards, like in the workplace, so should like prepare like to do the training for this to reducing the hazard or to eliminate it.
If you see hazards, is it like a sign for you to give a training?
This is one of the.
Yeah, it could be. What else? Yes.
You give it the supervisor any hazard, not any hazard. The guy put it the employees wanted training, I will give it.
Okay. What else? Lastly, Ali.
For example, if you have a training matrix of the people you are...
Like based on schedule, you're talking about. Okay.
Also, he asked me what about for that, what about. Every time he ask me, I will give him the training.
No, I think it's not necessary when someone asks you to give training. You have to analyze when is the right time to give training, because training is a powerful tool, but you have to know when it should be given. Not all the time. I am telling you, training cannot solve behavioral issue. If you have a hard-headed guy who really doesn't want to comply with safety, no matter what training you will give him, he will not comply because he has behavioral problem. Right? That's why this is where disciplinary action comes in. I will terminate you. Right? Because training is a good tool, but it will not solve everything. So these are some of the as a supervisor, your employer may assign training responsibilities to you. If you train or delegate the training to another person, your department is important to incorporate safety into the training. It is actually referring to operational supervisors. Because in many companies, they have this supervisor talk from the beginning, like how they will do the work, right? For example, they will carry out a difficult or critical activity. That's why they have method statement, right? On how they will do the work, they will execute. So, us in safety, we have to communicate or coordinate with them that safety should be included in that discussion before they start on how they will carry out this activity safely.
Before they start the
Yeah. So it will be linked to the risk assessment we are doing. For example, risk assessment they will be doing confined space activity, and they are discussing, okay, what engineering control we will use. We will use ventilation. We will use something like this. So for us in safety, how we can help them to ensure that these people they send there are trained, all the like gas tests are done properly. So they have to include the safety in their discussion as operational guy. So initial safety orientation should occur. This is important. This one indicator of a safety training should be when an employee works in an organization. Before you even start working, this is the safety induction. Right? So training is very, very important for people coming into new organization. That is one. So a case for initial orientation. It is important that your company educates new workers and about your safety standards and expectations immediately after being hired. So you have to establish this one. Because many employees actually, when they are on the site, you can observe that they do not comply with safety. And when you dig deeper, you go to HR or someone in charge in the project, did this guy undergo orientation? And you will find out he didn't. And this is one reason why he doesn't comply with safety. So that's why it is very important to have this process standardized in the project, safety orientation. All employees that comes into a project, regardless of position, whether he is manager or labor, he should undergo safety orientation. So two primary reasons new employees require initial orientation are associated with concept of common sense and corporate culture. The reason why we give orientation is about concept of common sense. Some people think that's why I experience it personally. Like I know one Yemeni guy in my previous project. He has a friend who just came into the company. He said, "No problem, Max. Don't give this guy orientation. His experience is 25 years. I told him, really? He said, yeah, he knows everything. So, with that statement, you can say that he doesn't understand the concept of common sense. When you say concept of common sense, it doesn't mean that a person with 25 years of experience knows everything. No, it's not correct. It's not all. Because I will show you the example. What is, this is, I told you, the common mistake is the common sense, thinking that this guy has more experience than me. Why should I give him orientation? This is wrong. Because according to the Webster Dictionary, common sense is the ability to make sound judgment. And where judgment comes from?
I think Mr. Max, for any job, which maybe with so much work, 10 years, maybe group 3-1. That's it.
Oh, what he said?
He's speaking in Tagalog.
Because in any area, same camp, housing, maybe the area for maintenance. I think single one, safety officer maybe strong one for maintenance and for housing story.
No, it is not based on the nature of the work. For the hazards, yes, you might find lesser hazards in housing. But the concept of safety, I'm telling you, is the same. Whenever, that's why we have standard in the first place. When you say OSHA standard, it applies to every industry it covers, regardless it is housing, regardless it is manufacturing. Electricity, for example, it is in the housing. Is the electricity in housing less dangerous than in manufacturing?
No.
The same.
The same.
So, it's
Only
not.
the different in voltage.
Yeah. So,
How you will die fast.
so how do we... I told you the common sense. That's why you should not rely on experience of people. Because common sense is based on 3 things. Education, observation, and personal experience. And not all people have the same, this one. Some people have 25 years experience, but very less education. So his judgment with you, like you only have 5 years experience, but you have good education, you have good training. Your knowledge and safety is much better than him. So do not rely only in education, on common sense. So each individual obtains very unique life experiences in education. You have to understand that. People, for example, from the tribe, here even in the company, Captain told me, some of the managers here who are Lebanese, he said, they are living in the village in Lebanon. So even me, when from Philippines, I live in the village. So sometimes your experiences in the environment, it affects how you behave and how you make decisions, right? So that's why some people have, this great instinct. When, for example, you come into a dangerous place, when you are educated, you will determine immediately what are the hazards that could hurt you. But people just ask someone without information and knowledge, just go there, he will not care. Because even though he has more experience. And therefore, each individual has a unique sense of environment. Each and every one of us have, individual perception about hazard. So us in safety, I can say, we are lucky. That's why we are put responsible for all these things, because we are considered to be more knowledgeable than everyone else, right? So safety culture, every culture is different as well. Every organization. When you say one guy who came from Aramco, 25 years of experience, it is not an excuse for you not to give him orientation just because he came from Aramco. Because every culture is different. Culture of Nesma, culture of Aramco, culture of other companies is different.
That's under this same Aramco, yeah?
I'm sorry?
Standard Aramco, same Nesma?
Yeah, I think so. Because we are normally using the international standards, ISO, OSHA, NIBO. So
Almost same.
So for trainings, I'll just make it quick. Demonstration. You can demonstrate, you know, like on how to, as I told you, to wear safety harness, how to properly wear their like chemical suit. So demonstration is way of training. Second is retraining. Retraining is very important. This is one also indicator that you have to give training. If you see someone violating safety, and you check in the record, he undergo safety orientation, then why he still not comply? Give him retraining. Okay. Because maybe he forgot, or maybe that was like 5 years ago, he got the safety orientation and you know he needs more information. So certification, you have to give certificate. In this training, I will give certificate for you. Yeah, I will. So these are just the contents of the safety training certificate. We'll just skip this. So providing safety supervision, this is what I'm talking about. By definition, meaning of supervision is to look over and direct the work and performance. When you say look over, you have to watch all areas of your responsibility. So as a supervisor, I assume that you will do this responsibility all the time. Do not be caught off guard. This is my motto when I am on the project. This is my mantra, personal mantra. When I am on the site.
What's the mantra?
Mantra means this is my sayings. This is my principle. Once I go to the site, in all projects I've been to, I'm saying to myself, once I am on this project, no one will get accident. Because on how I look, on how I watch, I'm very sharp on this. Yeah, that's why so many supervisors and managers sometimes do not like me, because I'm too persistent when it comes to safety. Because I watch. I don't leave the site without. And if there is a hazard that needs to be closed immediately, I will not leave the area. I saw one in our project, one manhole open. I stayed there. I called the supervisor, got the forklift, replace this one. I will not leave here until it is closed. Because that is how we should do things. If it is high risk, do not leave as much as possible. Close it. If it is medium risk, maybe it may take 3 days, no problem. But if it is like low risk, it might take 1 week, no problem.
I have example.
Yes.
Same the one you said, the hole. You don't leave the hole until they make primes, everything.
Yeah.
One observation, Mustafa saw it maybe 2 days ago in Qatif camp. Somebody coming from outside for maintenance. I think it's for AC maintenance. So they put the ladder, it's very tall, without any PPE, and the floor, it was like this, slipping. So he tried to stop them, but the project manager, he said, they came from outside. So it's not our business to...
No. But your question there, who bring them in? Nesma.
Okay.
Nesma bring them in.
So
Once they are inside our premise, they are our responsibility. Whether they are subcontractor or whoever they are. Because in the end, legal-wise, they are under us, working for us.
Should we stop the work immediately?
Definitely. Stop the work immediately. That's why I don't care who is this project manager is. I have done. If you know your responsibility as a safety, you should not be afraid to stop work, because in the end, you are protecting life only.
Yeah.
If someone happened to this guy, fall down, and he died, they can sue Nesma. They can file legal action against Nesma, saying that we are working as a subcontractor under Nesma. And there is a safety there. Our people died. Nobody take care for him. Nobody even tell him to go down. So what can we answer to them? That our safety is sleeping? We cannot. So once you are on the project, even it is subcontractor, this is our responsibility. So that's why when OSHA, for example, go to your project, they will say, they will put a comment or an observation, lack of supervision. What they are saying, it means someone qualified is not present on site. Because when you say supervision, it should be someone who is more competent, more qualified. So as a supervisor, you should not, leave the site. You should always oversee. You should always look. You should always check. Because you are the one responsible, no other than you. If you will leave the site, do you think operations supervisor will do your job? No, they will not. Yes, you can ask them to help you as much as they can, but legally you are still the one accountable. So this is what I'm talking about. The key to supervision is supervision. You have to make your vision sharp. You should be like an eagle, a falcon. So that is a characteristic of a supervisor. So now I'll give you another scenario, just for you to think of solutions. So for example, you have Bob as your maintenance.
Structure as a safety.
Yeah, as a safety.
He will become, and by enforcing Kuwait, and hi, how are you? Maybe he will say hi, then he will continue.
Yeah, you're right.
This is the first steps. Now we grab him the attention. Then you will come to him. Hi, bro, do you attend the training related to the maintenance and the graph checkout system? If he will mention yes, that you will tell them, okay, what's the hazard that you will be in action with during the activity that you are doing here? Did you recognize this power source already connected to the machine?
Yeah.
This is the first steps. If he would say no, you will try to let them recognize and learn what's the type of hazard, how to harm him and how. This is the first procedures. I educate them and give them the background. After you can send them for training. Also, you will make sure where are the supervision during this activity. Where is the foreman or supervisor? Because
you're right.
There is no foreman, there should be, there is no one.
You're right.
Maybe the parent will be present, but where is the supervision? So this is leak of supervision, leak of knowledge. If he didn't have the background about the maintenance activity, and leak of training if he didn't attend the trainings.
Yeah. All of your concepts are good. Yeah, actually, that is what is the answer here. Yes, Jerome.
For me, to approach the guy with this kind of unsafe act, we can say this is an unsafe act because he's doing a job which is a lockout tagout. I will approach him by stopping the work.
Yeah, first, number one.
Immediately. After that, after I stop his work, I will call his supervisor. I will talk to his supervisor, and the supervisor will talk to the guy.
Yeah.
That is for me. That is how I'm going to approach. I will not approach directly to the. I will approach him directly.
Just to stop.
Just to stop.
Yeah.
But all the documents and trainings or something should be from the supervisor.
Yeah, it is also a good approach. Yeah.
This guy will not work without the instructions of the supervisor.
Yeah. Great.
What's the problem? There's a permit, where is the necessary documents for the activity.
Great. Yeah. Thanks everyone. So because the concept of this exercise is actually to build the safety culture. And building safety culture, it is how you approach the people, Bob. So if you can see what you will do as a supervisor, right? So first, what is the right message you want to send to him? It should be the right message. Otherwise, we will not. If you do it wrong, you will send wrong message and you will destroy the safety culture. And this is very important. First, the right message is to send it that you are concerned about his safety. You have to show him that you are concerned about him. The safety of other workers in other company and the property of the company. Second, you would probably tell Bob to stop the work and get out of the mixing unit immediately, as what Jerome said. Tell him to get out and tell him that you are concerned about his safety. That's why you stop his work. And third, you would want to find out why he did not lock out the equipment. But only after expressing your concern to him. as an employee. And note, if Bob doesn't believe you are concerned about him, you only out to get him, he will react defensively to protect himself. Because if you just come in and said, hey, what are you doing? You stop. And he will not tell you what is the reason. Maybe he didn't undergo training. Right? So let's see. That's why the approach is very important. You have to tell him, one technique I have learned from one of my trainings, I will share it to you as well. That guy really is young, but he is very good in like actual scenario. He said, he shared it to us. This is the way how I approach if I see someone not doing safe thing.
Assalamu alaikum.
Hi sir.
Hello. Shall I attend?
No, if you want, no problem. So this is the approach he taught us. This is the approach he taught us when he did the training to us. It is related to this approach that when you see someone violating safety, you should do it from a perspective that you are concerned about him, so that he will comply with safety wholeheartedly. This guy told us, when I see someone violating safety, I will approach him. You know what he said? Hey bro, what are you doing? For example, that guy is a maintenance guy. He said, I've seen you. It begins with expression of thanks and appreciation. He said, bro, I've seen you are a great mechanic you are one of the best mechanics in this company. And I've seen you are always following safety rules and regulations, How are you like that? I'm fine. So what happened? What are you working right now like that? He said, I'm fixing this machine like that. And what things could go wrong, do you think, with what you are doing right now? And he will begin to open himself. Because if you shout at him, he will close. He will not tell you the problem. He will just depend, my supervisor just told me like this to do. But if you do it the right way, just start it by recognizing him. You're one of the best guy in this company. We don't like to lose you. You are, one of great performer. You like that. And he will say, and he will explain to you, this could go wrong. You have to get the hazard, what could go wrong from him, so that he will understand. Because if the hazard should come from him. He will be the one. He should be the one to tell you, if I continue this work, I might get stuck in this equipment because it is not locked out, it is not tugged out. So what do you think we should do? We will remove it, and we will lock it out, tug out. And after that conversation, you tell him, so that he will not repeat again. Tell him, bro, for this time, I understand you are probably in a pressure, depending on the reasons he told you. But next time, I will make it official. Now I know you understand what you have done wrong, but next time, if you do it again, I might give you warning letter. So this way, he understand. But you did it the right way. You are not preventing him from telling you the problem. So this is our role as a supervisor. So you have to know the reason behind or the root cause of the action. Because as you can see in the next slide, find out the real reason. Maybe Bob hasn't been properly trained. Right? So if you shout at him immediately, you have to know. Or he may be under stress or pressure to get it done at any cost. His manager maybe is pushing him hard to complete it today because we have delay in our manufacturing. So you cannot blame Bob immediately because someone is pushing him to do it. What you can do is fix the system, call his supervisor, his manager. Why you are pushing this guy to move, to work very fast, compromising his safety? So, second, he might have been trained by an individual who did not value lockout, tug out. Maybe he has been given training, but that guy who trained him doesn't care. I just give it in 5 minutes, whether you understand or not. So it's not Bob's fault. Third, you will find out that most of the time missing inadequate steps. Maybe there is no lockout, tug out procedure in the company. Right? So it's not Bob's fault. It's management fault. So that's why we have to know better. We have to understand deeper the reason. So don't play the blame game. Go after the system and fix it. Here on the scenarios given, as you can see, training, it is one system. No safety orientation, it is a failure in the system. If one employee just come in your project without giving safety orientation, it's like you build a house without door. Right? So how can you blame the guy if there is no system, no safety orientation, so nobody gave him like the overview of the hazards he will be working on. Right? And second, training, competency of the trainer. Did the trainer we have competent to give the training, or maybe he just want to get the salary and leave, and he doesn't care about the quality of the training. Third, inadequate or inadequate or ineffective system, which are procedure. If you do not have existing lockout-tagout procedure, this is the biggest failure for system. So that's why we as safety supervisors, you have to dig deeper on the system to see, because most root causes of accidents, I can say 98%, it falls under system inadequacy or system absence of system. It's either inadequate or non-existent. That's it. So, also, as a supervisor, as I said, it is connected to the scenario. We have to recognize. To build a safety culture, it should be rooted in recognition, not penalty or not fear. Because as I told you, in the case of Bob, if you shout at him, Bob, what are you doing? In the future, he will just comply with safety because he is afraid. But not because he is willing, because he understands. There is a big difference on that. So leaders understand the power of sincere recognition has in creating successful relationship with their employee. So you as a supervisor, you treat your safety officer right. And even not safety officer, even whoever you are with on the project, operation supervisor, anyone. Because to foster a good safety culture, you have to have, good relationship with people. The authority, right? So leadership is not about authority. Leadership is not about power. So it's how you grow people. It's how you protect or help people grow under you. That is the sign of leadership. And you as a future leader of the company, this is what I want you to get. You have to be an example of great leader in which area you are in. Show them how it should be a great leader, not just a boss. So show them how to do it, and on the process, you also have to develop yourself so that you can give back to the people, so that they will learn also from you. So I think that's all. To sum up this presentation, I wish you all the best in life and in your profession. So thank you so much for your time, and I hope you get something from this training. So thank you so much. Have a nice day.